We are celebrating a milestone today, 2,000 subscribers in 2 months. And it's the perfect opportunity to recap why we started this and what, together with a great team, we are trying to achieve through this help. Growing up in the UK, where I didn't have access to the career information that probably would have been even more impactful earlier in my life. It was only through great organizations like SEO London in the UK, mentors I met along the way, and very inspiring leaders that were willing to take a chance on me early in my career did I finally get the information that I needed a lot later in my 20s. And since then, I've wanted to give back that access and network to the next generation much earlier to help them aim higher and think much bigger. Now, I've actually been giving back almost 11 years now out of my own pocket. Back in 2014, I started an initiative called Pupils to Professionals. We started with bringing 2 students from the UK to Switzerland, where I was working at the time. Since helping those 2 students get their first work experience opportunity, we then went on to scale this initiative through Europe and Africa, and also provide career workshops to students all around the world, helping more than 1,000 students together with some amazing leaders who are willing to give their time and expertise to these kids. Later on, after graduating from Cambridge University, where I studied for an executive MBA, after completing that experience, I wanted to give that network back as well. So with the Pupils to Professionals initiative, we brought students from all around the UK and we took them to Cambridge University and Oxford University so they themselves could see, feel, and imagine studying at some of the best universities that the UK has to offer. So now in 2025, with the support of a great team who is helping me and with YouTube and videos like this, we are looking to scale our impact even more and document and share some of the lessons that I've been able to have in my career so far, and I'm also going through now, to a wider audience to again help the next generation aim higher and think bigger. Let me explain why this has come around. When I was 15 years old, in the UK, we had to have our first work experience opportunity. And the school that I went to was not the best school in the city. Through that program of having to pick a work experience, a lot of the work experience opportunities at the time were local companies. And there was one company that I was able to secure a work experience with, and this was a Windows company. And I was given the opportunity to work in their accounts department for 1 week. Hopefully we can bring up an image of what that company looked like at the time. Now, despite this appearance of this office, I actually really enjoyed it. It was the first time I had the opportunity to wear a formal suit. I went to the company for a week. I got to know the team, understand the manufacturing process on how they were making these windows, and also understand the accounting behind. And at that point, I was thinking something around accounting or finance as a future career. Now, at the time, this was an amazing opportunity and I really appreciated it. And it helped me understand a bit more about the professional environment. But then fast forward to 6 years later, and I'm finishing my university experience in London, where I had the amazing opportunity to learn economics and accounting at the University of London. And then I got this opportunity through SEO London, which is an amazing organization which tries to help underrepresented backgrounds get a foothold in a large corporation. They gave me the opportunity to move to Switzerland for a summer internship for a company called Novartis. Now, I arrived in Switzerland and the company at the time had a huge campus in the country where they had a lot of the global colleagues in the headquarters. Now, hopefully we can put up a few images and videos of what this campus looked like. And I just found myself walking in on day one and seeing the beautiful architecture, meeting some super inspiring people, and also learning about all the different careers and pathways that people had in this international company. And when I was walking around the campus during that summer internship, I kept reflecting to myself, I wonder if I had this experience when I was 15, 16, 17, and to see all the different career paths available, how would my career have been any different? Would I have thought bigger? Would I have thought also that more paths were open to me than what I thought was available at the age of 15? Now, after a couple of years in Switzerland in this amazing campus environment, I met some super supportive leaders who were really willing to share with me how to progress in my career, how to do the role that I was doing in finance even better, how to also manage the personal component of a career as well. So I had lots of great reference points within this environment. But after spending 2 years there in Switzerland, I started to think, look, this is such great information. This is an amazing network. How can I give this back to a younger version of myself? So that's where we started, very simply, with 2 students from the UK who are coming from my hometown. And this is where the initiative Pupils to Professionals was born. What started very simply of picking a school in my hometown in the UK and asking them to help find us two of their best and brightest pupils, and then arranging with the company in Switzerland for us to bring these students from the UK to Switzerland, together with their teachers supervising them for a 1 week work experience. During that 1 week work experience, the students got the opportunity to explore this campus, learn all the different parts of a large multinational company, finance, marketing, strategy, sales, etc. But most importantly, connect with leaders who had some of the most amazing career paths, the ones that had been medical doctors and that had transitioned into leadership roles, or leaders that always enjoyed working with the numbers and had become CFOs of multi-billion-dollar businesses. There were so many different pathways that were available to them. And after the end of that week, the students got so much value from it that they went back to their school and shared it in a presentation. And then as well as that, I noticed that the leaders who engaged with these students also really loved the opportunity to share their experience and network even more. Now, off the back of that positive experience, through also the support of One Young World, which is an organization that helped to scale this idea, we were able to scale the Pupils to Professionals initiative across Europe and Africa, and then also provide career workshops as well to students across those regions, and even provide the opportunity for these students to meet the CEO of the company at the time as well, multiple times during the time of this initiative in Switzerland and beyond. Now, this also continued throughout my career, where the more I progressed in my own career, the more conscious I was to share all the information that I'm gathering to the next generation, again, to help them think bigger and aim higher. Now, later on in my career, when I got the opportunity to study at Cambridge University for an executive MBA degree, that also opened up to me this network of Oxbridge universities. So that's Cambridge and Oxford within the UK. These are institutions with strong histories and very, very strong academic backgrounds. And when I first arrived there at the university for my 2-year program, I felt completely out of place. There were these formal events with gowns in these historic buildings. And initially I was thinking, how did I even get into this position? But after a few months, you start to absorb the content, you start to absorb the history, and then you realize that actually a lot of people end up having the same doubts that I had when I first joined. But rather than pushing through and applying and getting in, they actually stopped themselves at that hurdle. And that again is why Pupils to Professionals was born in 2014 when we initially started. So again, we kept the same theme going. After graduating from Cambridge University and also building relationships with Oxford University, we also expanded Pupils to Professionals and bring students from around the UK and gave them the opportunity to travel to Cambridge and Oxford and see and feel and think for themselves of how life would be like for them in these historic institutions. And as you can see from these pictures, we had some amazing visits. The students really loved it. And again, at the age of 15 to 16, it helped them think a lot bigger about their career earlier on. Now, with all those activities, I'm really proud to say, especially in recent years, Ahmed Capital Group has been funding a lot of these initiatives. So we've always made sure that these initiatives did not cost anything for the pupils and they were supported by us or through our partners. This brings us to now 2025. So since Pupils to Professionals started in 2014, we've helped more than 1,000 students think about their career earlier, which is a mind-boggling number. And that was not the plan when we started initially with those 2 students. And now that we've helped 1,000, I think this is the time that we continue to grow and think bigger and scale as well. And actually coming here to America and studying at Harvard University while also running my business in parallel gave me the time and space to also think about how do we scale Pupils to Professionals even more. And together with a great team that I've been able to onboard, YouTube is basically our platform and our channel to help distribute what we're learning even more at scale. Now, as already mentioned at the top of this video, in 2 months, we've hit 2,000 subscribers. It's already exceeded expectations. And through this process, I've been able to share more about the Harvard experience in some of the videos. We've also got some interviews with Harvard professors coming up as well. And now that I'm in the spring semester, I'm really trying to make the most of that time and share as much information through these videos to you, our invaluable audience. So thank you so much for joining us on this journey. Thank you so much for the support, for the comments, the likes, and everything that you've been able to contribute towards. This episode is just to say a big thank you and give a recap and a reminder as to why we do this. It's 2,000 subscribers. Let's see when we hit the next milestone. Thank you also to my amazing producer and the content strategy team that has helped map some of these episodes out for us. We're really excited about what we have coming during the next few episodes. Our commitment, as we said in video 1, is to try and give something content every week to you in a concise and clear manner and provide value to you, our audience. So thank you for tuning in. We really appreciate the support. If this was helpful, please share with anyone in your community that you think could find value from these videos. And as always, continue to aim high, and we look forward to seeing you in the next one.